This is the Political Spotlight.
The Political Spotlight is a joke. It's more like a political flop.
Nobody listens to Bilbrey.
He's just a wannabe podcaster. No one takes him seriously.
He is a rude, crude dude that will never go any further than broadcasting from his mother's basement.
Bilbrey is a wrecking ball for Indiana politicians.
Grab another box of Twinkies and generic cola, Bilbrey,
And get back to your microphone and your audience of nobodies.
The Political Spotlight is a joke. It's
He is
more
like
like
a rude, crude dude that will never go
Bilbrey's a wrecking ball for Indiana politics. Shut that stupid Bilbrey up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Another day, another dollar, another episode, another situation in Henry County, Indiana. It's like Henry County is the gift that keeps on taking from citizens of Henry County. Now, for me, it's the gift that keeps on giving. And for us here at the Political Spotlight, we think you guys should have reelected John Sproles. You guys should have fought hard to change the term limit rule for Henry County Sheriff's deputies so he could just remain the sheriff indefinitely. Absolutely. The only thing better than that would have been if you guys could have somehow elected dual sheriffs and given that a special honor to both of the bad pennies, the two sides of the bad penny, John Sproles, shit side A, and Randy Howard, shit side B. I tell you, that's the only thing better that could have happened. Really, what I think needed to happen was Sproles needs to be the sheriff and Randy needs to be his chief deputy. If we could be living in a world where that could happen, I would probably just move to Henry County. I could move to Knightstown, take it over, become the king dictator of Knightstown, which would, and forevermore will be known as Bilbrey Town. I don't know who Knight was, but Bilbrey Town sounds much better. That would be fantastic. And yeah, right. No, it's the gift. It's not really a gift. It's kind of like a gift if that gift is a terrorist that has a needle with some sort of horrible, incurable disease that keeps sticking you in the eyeball right as you're going to sleep nightly. That's the kind of gift that it is. John Sproles and the culture. Listen. This is not a specific John Sproles issue, but it is. It is, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is the culture of chaos and corruption that I have been talking about. This is what happens when you elect a man in November of 2022 who has, at that time, 2.5, 3 years law enforcement experience. This is what happens. Failure of leadership to hold his deputies accountable for anything. What do you mean hold them accountable for anything? They're doing right. He stands behind them all. All of their people are great. And listen, last night, we talked about this a little bit last night's episode. I'm not going to get into it all again. But there was an idiot that accused me of being able to control what the lot of you all say. I have no ability to control what you guys say or do. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are listening to me. I want you to listen to what I'm saying and to buy into what I'm saying, because number one, it's the truth. I've worked hard on putting the information together. I've been involved in local, state, and national politics for the majority of my life, even when I wasn't doing this, even when I had actual, real other jobs, and this wasn't my job, I was still involved with politics. I've been involved with politics since I've been 9 or 10 years old. And so eventually you just get a knack for things. I also have a knack for communicating with people and getting people to feel comfortable enough to talk to me and making a bond with people who I am the most well-liked, unliked person in all of anywhere. Everybody hates me. Nobody talks to me. I have 0 friends, except every single one of those people all have me on speed dial. They all watch. They all listen. They all communicate. And that, you guys, those people are my greatest my greatest tool. It's not that I'm special. It's that I have built these special relationships where people feel comfortable telling me information. At least I like you. Oh, and my ribs are still broken. I'm still hurting. So every now and then I'm going to like grimace and hold my side and be crazy. So just bear with me on that. It is what it is. We're in, this is day 3. So it is going to be what it's going to be. But all right. So ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Henry County tonight. Tonight was supposed to be a breakdown of Monday's Delaware County Commissioners meeting, not the public hearing side of it that lasted nearly 2 hours, but the hour-long regular meeting. However, we had some breaking news today, which caused that to be pushed aside. And I'll just have to determine. It's important. Monday's meeting is important, and we need to get through it. But we'll have to do it coming up. So I don't know. But tonight we are talking about the Henry County Sheriff's Department. This is a Sproles Watch. Sproles Watch 2026. I need to start numbering these things. But it's a Sproles Watch. Border works today, too. That's an interesting thing. There's a lot of stuff going on everywhere right now. People are getting crazy in, like, I guess, in Chicken Shack restaurants and going in. 75-year-old people are trying to beat up juveniles and getting beaten to death in the lobby of a fast food restaurant. And chaos is going in all over. Knightstown teachers' aides are sexually molesting or attempting to have sexual relationships with children, and just chaos is going on everywhere. But the big story for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, is the situation with the Henry County Sheriff's Department. And I want to just say right up front, while Sproles gets a lot of the blame for this, it's on Sproles because this is the culture he has created. Yes, their deputies don't say bad words anymore when they're in scary and bad situations, even though there is a section of the population that don't respond to, hey, I love you, everything's going to be okay, please put down your gun and don't shoot and kill me, and put your hands behind your head, you're under arrest. there are a lot of people who will act accordingly if you say that. You could yell across the football field, "Hello, you're under arrest over there. Put your hands behind your back and walk towards me." And they'll do it. But there are a population of the people out there that only, respond to "set your ass down, shut the F up, you're under arrest." That's just, there's a lot of people don't get it. My grandmother, she's watching. She's somebody that does not understand that, because she has, and that's nothing bad about her. She has been blessed to be living in a life where that's not the world she understands. And that she's better off for it. That doesn't make her weird or bad. That makes her good. That makes that life good. It's good that she's never had to experience that. But there are people out there that don't understand niceties, and you have to, if you don't talk the way they do, if you don't convince them, maybe you're going to have to fight them or whatever. So it's good, I guess, that Sproles took that tool away from his guys and his girls on the department. But that I really don't care about. What I care about is this culture that he has instilled among his department of, we're above the law. We do what we want to do, when we want to do it, how we want to do it. And if someone has a problem with it, they're just attacking us because we're cops. And there's a whole world of people out here that hate cops. And look and listen, that's true. There are people that hate cops. I'm not one of those people. I hate bad cops. I'm going to go against bad cops. But I don't have a problem with cops just across the board. So, hello.
I was just going to say, Sproles, in every single interview he did leading up to the primary, bragged about the new culture that he had created and how great it was. The new culture. I think we put it on one of the bingo cards, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because he said it so much.
Yeah.
Talking about the culture down there. And now we see what the culture really is.
Yeah, that's very true, Kate. That is very, very true. That's a very true statement. And, it's something that he said frequently when he was running for re-election, that there's this new culture that he has instilled in his department, and that he, he's happy about this new culture. And, whatever, but there's too many people out there that have interacted with these people. And they see what's really truthfully going on. Listen, this is why Sproles was not reelected. Period. Full stop. I don't need to say any more. There's a shit problem going on in the Henry County Sheriff's Department right now. And it's all because of Sproles. Now, are there good men and women that work in the Sheriff's Department and in the jail? Yes, a lot of them. But what do we always say? The bad always seems to rise to the top, and it infects every other aspect of the department. What happens when you go to a restaurant? You go to Ruth's Chris and sit down and order a steak, or you get some, a great salad there, or, something else there, and they come out and everything is perfect. The wait staff is on it. They've filled your drink up. You've never had to want for anything. You've never had to ask for anything. Or you've went to Applebee's, or wherever. You went to Wendy's and they got your order right. And they were quick. And the chicken nuggets were crispy and warm. And the French fries were perfect. Or back to Applebee's. What was it? The mesquite chicken is on fire. It's perfect. or the experience at Ruth's Chris in Indy, St. Elmo's is everything's great and wonderful. And you tell them it's great and wonderful, and you tip them, and you have a great experience. And you walk out of the door and man, that was great. We're going to go back next month. I'm going to go back next week. I can't wait to eat here again. And then you move on with your life and you don't think about it until you go back. But if you go to that restaurant and the wait staff never comes around and your table's dirty and they don't bring you the menus and there's only one set of silverware there and they bring your food out and your food's not your food you ordered, it's the table over here, and then they bring that out and they switch it around and they bring you your steak and your steak is not cooked the way that you ordered it, and or Applebee's brings you shrimp instead of a chicken, or Wendy's puts mayo on your sandwich when you didn't order it, and it's a fight to try to fix it. Those people that's when you complain. That's what we hear about. My dad was a small business owner. I always say small business owner because it was a small business, but it was a large business in what it touched. It had been around for over 110 years, and it was a multi-million-dollar organization. It did all the awnings for Blockbuster Video during the whole Blockbuster Video craze, all those blue and yellow awnings and all of this. But it was very small business feeling in it, and the customer was always right. But I tell you what, word of mouth is great, and that's how he never advertised. Muncie Tent Awning never advertised. Word of mouth. But I tell you what was what really sucked is when something was wrong, and we didn't do things wrong there a lot. But every now and then, because people are people and stuff happens, things would be wrong. Those people tell far more people than when you do good. So it's the same culture in the police department, in politics, in government. When you have a sheriff's department and you have 100 people on the department and 5 of them are terrorizing the community, or 10 of your 100 people are horrible, and they're out here violating people's rights, and they're out here beating people, and they're out here doing God knows what. That's what people hear. They don't hear about the good guys that get up and go to do your job. And listen, that's the other thing. People always talk about me being negative all the time. Ooh, I'm always negative. Amazingly, my dad never had to beat a 75-year-old to death. Now, we did beat 2 40-year-olds to death, but that's a whole different story. That hurt. I can't start to do like a deep laugh because it always hurts me. The thing is, people always say, Bilbrey, you're so negative. Why are you so negative? And I say, because that's the world that I'm in. I'm in the negative world. Okay. I'm not going to applaud a mayor of Muncie or the mayor of Newcastle or the mayor of Anderson or the commissioners of Henry County or the commissioners of Delaware County, the commissioners of Randolph County. I'm not going to applaud them for holding a meeting and talking to the public and doing their jobs at the bare minimum, because that's what they're expected to do. Dan Ridenauer doesn't get an attaboy because he wakes up and he doesn't do anything stupid on a Monday, because that's what he's expected to do. When Sproul's team gets up and goes into work and doesn't violate anyone's rights for that day, they go 1041 and they get out here and they're working, and then they go 1042 at the end of the shift, and they've not killed anybody that didn't need killing, and they've not arrested anybody that didn't need arresting, and they weren't out here doing God knows what. That's not they get paid for that. That's their job. They get an attaboy when they go above and beyond. Okay? So that means when they're out here working and they're doing a baseline bare minimum and they dip below that and they do things they shouldn't be doing, That's when we crack them on the head. That's when they get up. They find themselves on this program. So we're going to be talking about these two guys. We're going to be talking about what's going on, what I know. Everybody in Henry County is going crazy because I knew about this, because they had this locked down. Nobody was talking about this. The commissioners didn't know about this. People on the sheriff's department didn't know about this. Other elected officials in Henry County didn't know about this. And then Kristopher Bilbrey releases this breaking news today, and Henry County explodes with insanity. People were calling me liars and saying this wasn't happening. I actually had a wife of one of these guys on my wall losing her shit. And I'm like, this is what lets me know this is happening. This is a problem. Because look, I don't blame her. Her world's falling apart right now. She's a public safety member. She's getting it from all sides. This is embarrassing to her. Maybe she didn't even know her husband was doing this. Maybe she's saying this didn't happen because she believes it didn't happen. I don't know. So I don't fault her. But I do know it made her look bad. And I know that she realized that because she posted it. And then nearly as soon as she posted it, she then dirty deleted it. And beep, bink, bink, it's all gone. And then she locked down her Facebook page, not deleting me or blocking me. She just totally disappeared.
Did you get screenshots?
I got screenshots. Yes. And I posted those screenshots. And some might say, well, why would you do that? And I would say, well, because when it's one thing if she's going to come on and be like, nah, you're wrong, this or that, and debate the debate. But when you're specifically calling me a liar, and when you're going after other people on the wall who aren't involved, who are not, it's not Kate, it's not me, it's not Brandon, I'm going to push back on you about that. And so, that's the situation. So here's the deal. We're going to talk about this. We're going to get into this. If you would, for those of you that are watching, we are going out everywhere. We are on YouTube, Rumble, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Welcome to the program. However you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want the very best experience possible, go to YouTube. Watch this on YouTube. While on YouTube, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe. Please click the bell. Please do all of that stuff. Communicate with us. Talk to us. Tell us we're right. Tell us we're wrong. And do whatever else you want to do in between. Share the show with everyone you know. Help spread the word. Watch this wherever you want to watch it on. But YouTube is the best because that's where more people are commenting. And you can see that. After the show, this will go out on all podcast hosting sites, 40 different podcast hosting sites. So people will be able to hear it and all of that. So please smash through the like button and do all of that stuff. We're going to take just a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. So this started off with the crash that occurred Monday evening when the weather was bad and there was a call of a possible B&E in progress, a burglary in progress, breaking and entering, however you want to call it. And deputies from the sheriff's department were running signal 10 lights and sirens to these calls. And so that was happening, and it had been raining, and one of them was out on 3. And, time will tell what was happening there. I know that there's a lot of you that are like, oh, that guy was this. What happened on Monday night was a horrible, horrible, horrible situation. Wish it wouldn't have happened. wish it wouldn't have happened. And I hope and I pray that everything's going to be okay for the passenger of the vehicle. And this will be a learning technique. I don't think that the deputy should lose his job. It is what it is. But because of the situation that Henry County has been in, this is going to be scrutinized more. And that's something that John Sproles and his guys and gals will have to own, because of the way that they have behaved, the way that they have acted, the way that things have occurred over the last several years. This is what they get. It is. I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. So they are getting some scrutiny over that, and everybody and their brother started calling me. Okay. So I start getting a bunch of phone calls on Monday night into Tuesday about this. So Tuesday morning, a source calls me, and this person is not a police officer, not a first responder, not an elected official, just a citizen of Henry County, calls me and says, "Hey, did you hear what happened in Henry County?" And I say, "Yes, I heard about it." Like, by this time, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I'm tired of everyone talking about the crash. I've heard it 1,000 times by now. Yeah, I heard about it. And the person's like, "No, what are you talking about?" And I was like, the crash. And they're like, "No, I'm talking about another situation. Have you heard about the deputies that are getting ready to lose their jobs?" And I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" And this person said, "Well, I don't know who, and I don't know what, and I don't know why." And I'm like, that's good. We're starting off bad here. You're calling to tell me something and you don't know what you're telling me. And so the person says, "All I know is there are 2 deputies that are currently facing administrative action. I think they are on administrative leave. I'm not 100% sure, but they are looking at possible termination. And the only thing that I know is it has something to do with ghost employment." Now, that's a pretty wild accusation when I first hear it, because a lot of people in government work, they throw around the term ghost employment, and sometimes it means what they think it means, and a lot of times it doesn't. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I'll look into it. Thank you very much. And I kind of think, like, this is going to take, maybe I'll find something, maybe I won't. We'll see what goes on. So I continue about my day on Tuesday, and about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I get a phone call, and someone says, "Hey, did you hear about the 2 guys that are in trouble?" So now this is my second phone call about this. So now my spidey senses are going off a little bit. I'm like, And here's the thing, because I know that there's no way that the 2 people that have called me, they are not connected in any way. They are not connected in any way. And so I'm like, I know something's going on here, because I don't know how these 2 people would know about this unless there's something connected here. And both of the people that called me, neither one of these people are connected to government, law enforcement, public safety in any way. They're just people in Henry County. However, they both, I would give them probably a rank of a 5 or a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being Randy Howard and a 10 being hearing something, seeing it for my own self. Okay. So a 5, pretty good. They're right more than they're wrong, but they've also been wrong before. And so I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So I start doing some digging, start listening to some sources, and start communicating. And pretty quickly, I get the names of Lackey and Burns. Now, I don't, this is weird, okay? I communicate with a lot of people in Henry County. I communicate with a lot of government, first responders, public safety, specifically police officers, Newcastle, small towns, and the sheriff's department, state troopers. Okay. I talk to a lot of these guys, and I say, when I say guys, I mean men and women, just so I don't have to continue doing that. You got it. Okay. Because of the nature of what I do, and I'm not burning people or whatever, I don't spend a whole lot of time learning these people's names, because their name doesn't really matter to me. Knowing who they are, what they do, and where they're from, that matters. But once someone has proven to be a valuable source and they're credible with their information, it's more of just a relationship that started in that way. And I don't care what their name is. Better yet, if I don't know their name, it's easier not to burn them. Get it? That makes sense. So I don't know a lot of the people on the Newcastle PD. I don't know a lot of the people on the Henry County Sheriff's Department. I know the names of a handful of deputies. I talk to a lot of them. A lot of them communicate with me, either straight talking to me, they text and or call me, or we talk through people, but I don't know their names. And that's fine. I don't need to know their names. So when I first hear yesterday the names of Burns and Lackey, I'm like, I don't know who these guys are. I don't know who they are. Okay, you can see them here on the screen. These two guys, okay, Sergeant Ryan Burns and Sergeant Bob Lackey. Okay, here they are. I honestly, it looks like their names don't fit. To me, Ryan Burns, that name looks like it goes with the bald-headed dude. And Bob Lackey, that seems like, I don't know, neither one of these guys look like their names to me. It just doesn't fit. Okay? So I see who these guys are. I don't recognize them straight off the bat. Now, someone brought to my attention, okay, that I had actually had a run-in with Ryan Burns in the past. And I was like, well, I have? What? Where? What do you mean? That's interesting to me. I did not know that. And so someone brought to my attention that I had interacted with Deputy Burns back a long time ago. And I'm going to put this up on the screen here and let you guys see. And some of you will be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember when this happened. I'm going to put this here up on the screen now. and let you guys see this and see if you all recall this, because I certainly didn't, but that happens from time to time. So here's where Burns and I did. Hey, thank you. Yeah, that's even better. Thank you. Burns and I came in contact with each other. Okay. So this is during a video that was shot in Cadiz at the Cadiz town hall meeting back in 2023. So we see John Sproles is the man standing in the middle, and Sergeant Burns is here with his hands on his vest by the door, and he is circled here in red. And so I remember him, and let me tell you, when we had that interaction, I was with some people who were complete idiots and making the situation worse, harder than it needed to be. But Burns was treating me like an absolute asshole. Like, you could tell he had a chip on his shoulder, and, he was looking to teach me a lesson through his verbal judo or whatever he was doing. I don't know. He was just kind of an asshole. So that's my interaction with Burns. I didn't know it. I didn't know that's who he was, whatever. I don't know Lackey. Now, I do know that I knew the name of Lackey. Lackey is the name of the deputy who the two deputies were going to move the pool table. Remember when the off-duty deputy pulled over Amy Bell and her husband at 3 and 70 back in January? They were on their way off duty to go move a pool table at Lackey's house. I don't know where they were moving it to. I don't know what they were doing. They were just going to help him move. And so I knew that I had heard the name Lackey, but I didn't know where. And I was reminded that when I went into the Henry County Sheriff's Department and I watched the body cam footage, that I'd heard it there. So I had been told that these guys had both been on the department for a period of time. One of them has about 10 years on. One of them has like 6 or 7 years. I have been told that they were major Sproles fanboys during the first election. And that these people were kind of like, they were referred to by a lot that I talked to as the Sproles moles. That they would basically run around and do all of this information and find out all of this dirt and bring it back to the king rat himself, John Sproles. And that they used that in order to ingratiate them with the king and to get themselves higher and better, and to better themselves. And in law enforcement, I don't respect that. I respect if a cop is seeing something bad and he stops his fellow cop from his brother in blue from doing something wrong. I respect that. If they are talking to a supervisor about bad actors, I respect that. But if somebody is a rat just for the sake of being a rat, and they're turning stories and they're doing things, and they're going to the boss as a tattletale because they are attempting to better their lot in life, I got no respect for that. Just simply, I don't have respect for that if you're on the street. As a former narcotics investigator, I respected the people that we would get that would say, nope, I'm not flipping. I'm not going to be a CI. I respect that. You know, you do the crime, you do the time. My job counted on the fact that people would talk to us, and I needed that, but I also respected people that didn't rat. Okay. It is what it is. So hearing these things, it seems as though, and what I'm gathering, and you know, like I said, I'm not down here with these guys. It seems as though they're not like the worst of the worst officers. They don't specifically do things wrong or bad, but they'll do what they need to do to get ahead. And if that means stepping on the neck of somebody else, they'll do it or whatever. And so it you know, it is what it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those, let's see, Mason Kidd, I don't know. Your mother comes to mind, but other than that, I'm not really sure. So, getting back to real life, though, what do you want, Mason? Do you want cops on the road lying, being paid for shit hours they're not working, for making up contacts? Do you want cops who are supposed to be above the fray and supposed to be truthful turning in fake reports that they've made traffic stops on people they never pulled over, using, by the way, real names and the contact information of real people? Is that what you want, Mason? I'm confused. You know, your mother and I were talking the other night, and that's just not how she raised you, so I'm kind of confused. But I digress. And someone's going to come back and be like, his mom's dead. You know, and I'm like, I don't know. I hope she's not. But if she is, I don't know. Obviously, that's a thing people say. So it is what it is. Join the club. Okay. Anyways. Listen. I hate ignorant people. Do you not talk about anything good? Yeah, let me tell you something. Have these assholes down here start doing something decent, and we'll start talking about it. But no. We want to let them rip. We want them to rip the government off. We want to allow them to rip the citizens off. It's okay if they're stealing taxpayer-funded money. It's okay if they're supposed to be working, but they're not. And one of their officers needs help somewhere, but they don't get there because they're not where they're supposed to be. That's okay. Douchebag. All right. And maybe we totally misread what he's saying, and maybe he wasn't even attacking me. I've done that before too, so I don't know. Maybe
he might have been being sarcastic, considering your comments earlier in the show.
Yeah, that very well could be.
Let's go with that. But I'm enjoying the tirade.
Yeah, right. All right. If that wasn't aimed at Mason, it's aimed at somebody out there. Are you sending me something? Stand by, people. Yes. For those of you, do we have that video up anywhere? Or is that gone? I think it's gone. We were talking last night about how long people have been here. People who've been watching the show for a very long time. this will take us back. They're hurting. They're not. It's not feeling good. How many people remembers all the way back to that situation where the guy was walking in Knightstown and the people that he got stopped by the two cops and he ended up getting tased in the face and cussed out? I don't know if anybody remembers that or not. If any of you have been here that long, Bobby Lackey was that cop involved in, he was the sheriff's deputy involved in that. Boy, that sounds good. Gee golly good. Let's talk about that. Remember that time he tased a guy in the face and cussed him out? Yay! So it just seems like this guy's been a problem for quite some time. So for the people that don't know, okay, for the people that don't know, there is a program that a lot of departments are engaged in that is called Operation Pullover. A lot of people have probably been affected by this at one time or another. And what it is, Operation Pullover is basically it is a statewide traffic initiative aimed at reducing traffic fatalities through reducing reckless driving, drunk driving, speeding, people not wearing seatbelts, yada, yada, yada. Operation Pullover, okay? And it's referred to by its acronym, or by its initials, O.P.O. And not every department does it, okay? Some departments do it, some departments don't. And basically what it is it's a grant, and it's mostly funded by federal highway safety money. It is click it or ticket. That's what civilians would call it. Your cops, Brenda Armstrong Beatty. Let me tell you, pause this story just for a second. Brenda Armstrong Beatty, I am currently working on starting to dive into Jay County now. I actually have a person who I've been talking to with with a little bit, okay? And I'm going to start doing that. So I will let you know that is something that we're going to start looking at, because I have a guy there that's a really good source for information, and I am going to start doing that. Okay. So FYI, keep watching. So in Indiana, it is administered through the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute. O.P.O is a national thing, and it's called Click It or Ticket. What are some of the names? I'm just trying to think. Buzz driving is drunk driving. All of that, okay? And so Operation Pullover is something that the state doles out tax dollars, federal tax dollars, grant money, to these departments to work extra hours. So it's not during their shift. So the cops work their regular 40 hours a week. They're 8-hour shifts, 5 days a week, or their whatever their shifts, if they work 12-hour shifts or 10-hour shifts, whatever they work. And then when they are off, okay, when they are off, they are allowed to sign up to work extra shifts, like 4-hour periods, where they get paid this money, like $30 an hour. And They are supposed to go out. I've worked this many times when I was on the police department. And you make as many traffic stops as you can, make these contacts, and it's different things, right? So when you're doing click it or ticket, you are running out and you are pulling over people that aren't using their seatbelt, and you're making contacts, and you have to have so many contacts an hour. You have to give so many tickets out, so many warnings. And that's when people talk about cops having quotas. This is the really only time where something like that really matters. When you do Operation Pullover for DUI, you're supposed to make so many contacts in an hour. You're supposed to give so many field sobriety tests. And listen, we always caught a drunk. Sometimes we caught more. Generally, what I would like to do as being mostly a narcotics officer is I would go out and I would quickly find my drunks. I'd get 2 or 3 drunks stacked up, bam, bam, bam. And then after that, I'd spend time out looking for dope, looking for people that I could cultivate into CIs and things like that. So that's how we worked it. But you have to fill out the paperwork, and you've got to prove your contacts and do all of this. And then you get paid this money. And it's a program that has done good because it also finds people who are wanted for things. It finds people who are, all kinds of criminal activity. Okay. ISP pulled over 16,000 people this month by themselves. I'm going to assume that's in click it or ticket that you're saying that, or Operation Pullover. And so that's what this is. The thing is, it's a grant. So the paperwork has to be really locked in and on point, and you can't screw up about it. And if you do, that will get yanked. You can get it yanked from your department. You can get it yanked from your entire county. It is a very serious situation. And so these 2 sergeants were involved with Operation Pullover, and at some point, their fellow officers started realizing that something was wrong. They started realizing that things weren't adding up and that they weren't where they said they were supposed to be. Things were just not making sense. So they do what cops do, and they set a trap for them. And they started watching them. And lo and behold, these guys were not doing what they said they were doing. And listen, I really need you to understand what the allegations are. These are allegations. These guys are innocent until proven guilty. They've not been arrested. They've not been charged with anything. Right now, this is an internal situation where they are looking this, and it may cost them their jobs. There may be discipline, something like that. So it's that. Now, it could turn into a situation where it is a criminal matter and they are charged, and this could be a thing. So essentially what they were doing was they weren't doing the work. They weren't going out and making the traffic stops. They weren't getting contacts with people. They weren't pulling people over. And I'm sure sometimes they did, but there were times that they were not doing that. But it wasn't just like they were going out and saying, all right, I'm going out and working, and that's it. These people were really taking it to the next level. They were faking paperwork. They were faking contacts. I want you to know that when I posted this information today, one individual commented on my post, and I'm going to read you this. I said allegedly. Get out of here. I said allegedly. Yeah, right. One of the people that commented under this post said the following. Let me find this here. I was one of the people that they lied about pulling over. The chief of the department showed up at my door last week. So I want you to understand what this means. One or the other of these two officers told the department they were going out to work O.P.O, Operation Pullover. And instead of actually doing that, I have no clue what they were doing. But at the end of this time, they turned over, yeah, I made these many contacts, I did this, this, and this. And they gave the names of actual people in Newcastle or Henry County or wherever. And one of these people legitimately commented on my post. Now, I'm in the process of trying to get in contact with this individual to find out if she'll be willing to give me any more information and talk to me about that. But that is a serious allegation, because then it becomes, it's one thing if they're going out saying, yeah, I pulled over 7 cars and I gave everybody warnings and that's that. But for them to actually be writing down names, dates of birth, addresses, that is a pretty serious invasion of privacy, in my opinion. You're giving people police contacts that they never actually had. Now these people are going into paperwork somewhere, and these people never had this ever, you know? And so this person gets pulled over next week, and the cops are like, well, wait a minute, you were just pulled over last week on Operation Polo. You know, there's a lot of serious implications here. Not to mention the fact that these guys were then paid for all of this work that they did not do. Okay, let that sink in. That, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. If you, in the private sector, get up and you go to your job tomorrow and you clock in, and as soon as you clock in, you get in your car and you drive home, and at the end of the day, you drive back and you clock out, and then you get in your car and you drive home, and at the end of the week, you collect a paycheck where you got paid for Thursday when you didn't actually work, you have committed time theft. You have stolen money from your employer, and that is a crime. That is a criminal charge. You can be arrested for that. You can be prosecuted for that. You can be convicted of that theft. It's just theft. That's what it is. Okay. They were probably playing pool. That's hilarious. That is absolutely fantastic. It certainly it is. Certainly it is. Every ticket signed off is. Absolutely. And so then now think about this. Think about what this means. We now have officers who have lied about their contacts and turned that into their supervisors and turned that into the state and turned that into the feds. And all of this is being input somewhere. So now we have to wonder, are these officers lying in other situations? Are they lying when they pull over actual drunks? Did they not have probable cause to make this stop? Okay. And I'm going to be honest. People are, James Williams is saying, you know, love the show, but I don't think anything's going to happen. I'm going to tell you this. I think these people are going to lose their job. State police is investigating this. This is no longer being investigated internally. The state police is investigating this now. They're in charge. I believe that they're going to lose their jobs. This is not a slap on the hand. Okay, so for the people that are unaware, these guys have been on administrative leave for about the last week. They're not currently working. I have an email sent in to verify if it is paid leave or unpaid leave. So I should know that tomorrow, maybe the next day at the latest. I will know if this is paid leave or unpaid leave. Okay. Yeah, Amy, absolutely. So we will find out if they're on paid leave or unpaid leave. I think that makes a difference to me, in my opinion. But I think these guys are going to be terminated. At the end of this investigation, the sheriff's department in Henry County is going to have to fill 2 spots. Now, will they be formally charged? I don't know. Should they be charged? I'm going to tell you this. My sources in law enforcement, specifically my sources within the Henry County government, and let me tell you this, okay? This was a very well-kept secret until I brought this forward today. Commissioners didn't know about this. Council didn't know about this. So this was very well kept. I think it's interesting that this really comes to head right after the election, when, remember me telling you that these guys were Sproles fans and they were Sproles moles? Well, I've heard that during this last election that they were very supportive of Jason Williams' run. That they were very supportive of Jason. So I almost wonder, it makes me wonder if, like, this is something that was known about, but now after the election, it's like, okay, you're going to get the comeuppance. The uppets have come, So I wonder, that's interesting. But they are on leave, so that's a step in the right direction. I do think that this will result in the loss of their jobs. I do believe that. I will tell you that they have absolutely discussed what criminal charges would look like. And the way I know that is they have made various communications about, well, with these guys having not had criminal record in the past and having been in law enforcement, that while they would be charged with felonies, it's just, I'm going to tell you, it's going to boil down to how long they've done this. Okay. It's going to boil down to how long they did this. If this is something that they've done for a long time, they will more than likely be charged with a felony. I will tell you that if that would be very, very interesting. There's a lot of shit going on with Diego Morales, with his chief deputy that he hired that was questionable. I've got some things plugged in with the Secretary of State's office, so I will definitely be following that as well. That will be interesting. I would be shocked, but we will be looking for that. I'm hearing that it's not just that they're going to be fired. If these people are fired for this, and if they are charged, I'm hearing that there's even been talk with ILEA about decertifying them. And Brenda, that's where that is hope and never to be cops again. They are not trusted. Yeah. So I'm hearing that there's even been talk that they have talked to, there's been talk with ILEA about if this goes through and these guys lose their job and if they're charged, that ILEA is talking about decertifying them. So
I have a question.
Yes.
Could Henry County be looking at suits because of this?
Because walk me through what you're saying.
So they made up tickets on real people, which means they ran their information.
I don't think they actually made up. I don't think anybody's going to get. I don't think anybody actually got tickets. I think it's like warnings. So no one's out any money from their actions. Like that would be serious. Like I don't think they could do that. I mean,
they still they ran their information. It's a Fourth Amendment violation.
If or when this like this. So
and what about cases of past a year ago? He pulled me over for this, and I wasn't doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, could there be blowback on people that have already, been prosecuted or paid fines for stuff because of this?
Sure. It just depends on how long this goes back and what the situation is. So this person,
Henry County could be out more money because of this again.
Very, very possibility. I would not say that's impossible.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's very, very possible that something like that could occur.
Okay. Sorry for interrupting.
No. That's a good question. It's really going to be interesting what this individual says. And again, it's on my social media page. Everyone can go and see it. I'm not putting her name out here. I'm not putting it on this because I have not talked to her. But as soon as I do, maybe we can get her to come on. I think that would be an interesting show. But she says, I'm reading it right here. I was one of the people they lied about pulling over. Yeah, right. Alva, right? She says, chief of the department showed up at my door last week. So what that means is they are actually going back through their paperwork and making contact with the people that they've said they've contacted. Imagine that. They say, we pulled over Kristopher Bilbrey for da-da-da-da-da. And they come to my door and the police knocks at my door and I open it and they're like, hello. Could you tell us if you were pulled over last week at 7 p.m. at, 3 and 70? And I'm like, no. And they're like, okay, well, thank you. And I'm like, wait. What are you talking about? What do you mean? And they're like, well, our officer said they pulled you over. And I'm like, wait, what? And no, I don't think that they showed up to intimidate her. I think they showed up to investigate this. What brought the state's attention to investigate this? So it wasn't the state eventually investigating. It was an internal investigation by the sheriff's department and or the Newcastle City Police Department, because they're the ones that are in charge of. So Matt Pierce handles O.P.O for the county. And then the Newcastle City Police Department handles it for everyone in the area. So I don't know if Newcastle was first looking into this or if Henry County was first looking into this, but something happened and it made them start questioning what these guys were actually doing. And it would be very interesting to know if these sheriffs are in denial or just going with the flow. Well, let me tell you this. Today, once I made this post, I start getting comments on my wall. And see, that's, if anybody's concerned about this, I guess you could call your local police department and find out. You could ask this. I don't know. I don't think it was. I don't think it necessarily had to be Sproles initiating it. It could have been another ranking official on the Henry County Sheriff's Department that started this and said, "Hey, look, this is the situation." But with Sproles being the lame duck now, Sproles is a lame duck. I don't think he cares anymore. That's the other thing people have to understand, that maybe he simply just is no longer caring. But today, I start noticing that I'm being blown up. My messages are going crazy. I'm getting ding, 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 ding notifications. And it's because someone is messaging me, and it happened to be, as I said at the beginning of this, the wife of one of the deputies. So I think Stumblefoot asked, are they living like they, is this something that they are saying like, yeah, it happened, or are they saying like, no, this didn't happen at all? Well, let me read this to you. And this is from Allie Burns, the wife of Ryan. And she sent this to Rachel Clark because Rachel Clark had shared my post. And Allie says, "Weren't you fired for corruption or forced out of the last, at least multiple jobs? Let's make sure we have our facts before pointing fingers, Rachel, especially when you have never been clean." And Rachel says, "Nope, that was pretty strong accusation to make. Where's your proof? The only job I was forced out of was Muncie, and I have a letter from the EEOC saying I was completely treated unfairly and did nothing wrong. I also said innocent until proven guilty, and I hope it's not true. But if it is, then they should be held accountable. I get you're defending your husband, but make sure you walk a very careful line regarding slandering or defamation of someone." And then Allie made another comment, but she deleted it before I could get it. And then I commented and said, let me see if, oh no, my comment was removed too. Okay, I didn't get that. So basically, I just commented back to Allie, and I was like, "Look, I get that you're defending your husband here. I get that you feel like you need to do that, but with your husband's job and with what's currently going on, and the fact that Allie herself is in county government or city, I don't know which one, if she's city or county, but working as an EMS official." I was like, "Don't you think that you ought to maybe not be commenting and, maybe laying off?" So, she decided to not say anything else, and she deleted her post. I would like to think that she made those comments and that her husband said, "Remove that shit quickly." And so I hope that he made her remove it. I don't know. I will tell you, I'm getting a message here from someone saying that they are currently on paid leave. So, and I feel like most people figure that. in the law enforcement world, in really in any kind of government job, anytime you are put off on leave, unless it's just something absolutely crazy egregious, which in my opinion, this is something that's crazy egregious, then it's paid leave unless something's crazy. But I'm hearing that is likely to change soon. I don't know how long the state police investigation will last, but when that wraps up, I fully look for these two men to be terminated and not being members of the Henry County Sheriff's Office. If that in fact happens, I would look for the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy to attempt to take their certifications away. I think that is something that could happen. It's up in the air. It's up in the air, in my opinion, as to whether or not I believe that they will face criminal charges. But being the fact that this is tied to federal money and state money, and that they just don't screw around with O.P.O. People don't screw around with O.P.O. I don't believe that they're going to get away from this clean. And no, I'll be honest, I don't think that this is a situation where they can always resign. They could always resign. Like they could call and quit tonight. But I don't think that they're going to be given that option. I think that they are going to be. I think if this investigation follows the course that it's currently on, they will be terminated. When I was talking about Allie commenting, she knows better than this, because not only is she married to Sergeant Burns, not only is she an EMS official in Henry County, but her father is the sheriff of Rush County. So, she knows better than what's happening. And listen, this comes down to the culture of chaos and corruption that Sproles has brought into Henry County, into the sheriff's department, into the jail, and into the county as a whole. When he lives his life like he is above all else authority in the county or hell elsewhere in the state, that he can act any way he chooses and nothing is going to happen to him, when he can say what he says and does, and he then has these younger deputies on under him, and they see this, he opens up a world in which these deputies think, well, hey, I can do what I want to do. I can get away with this. I can do what I want to do. You know what I mean? And, I just, again, I blame Sproles for the culture that he's brought on. I blame these two guys for this behavior. Why? Why do this? No one said they had to sign up to work O.P.O. They did not have to work Operation Pullover. That's a special assignment to give guys the ability to work and make more money for going out. They don't have to answer calls for service. They don't have to worry about radio. They don't have to worry about taking any radio calls. They can go out and work a couple of hours, make some good money, and go home and chill out. So it's not that difficult. A lot of guys like working O.P.O, but if you don't, nothing says you have to do it. It's an easy paycheck. And so the fact that they were willing to put everything on the line and do what they've done here is absolutely wild to me. Because they didn't have to do any of this, Totally crazy. What's the motto? Eat, love, pray. Be humble. Cheat on your wife. And steal grant money. Well, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see what it is, but I think it's something like that. Kate's got it right there. Yeah. Well, I can just say that, in my opinion, for everybody that was real crazy worried about the car wreck, this is a much bigger deal than the car wreck situation. And I'll be honest, if Sproles has any integrity whatsoever, he needs to distance himself from this madness, and he needs to push for these people to be removed from the department just absolutely as soon as they possibly can be. And I'll be honest, now I think that you have to go back and look at what these guys have done for however long this has been going on. Have they lied about any of their other cases? Have they lied about paperwork that they've done when they've been on, not on O.P.O, but have they ever falsified documentation in their actual police reports? Have they falsified any arrest reports? Have they falsified probable cause affidavits? Have they testified under oath when, in fact, whatever they were testifying to either didn't happen the way that they are claiming it happened, or it didn't happen at all? There's a lot of questions that come from this that have to be answered. And, what happens? Are they, do they open up any of these investigations that these guys might have been a part of? Or, this has a serious implication for everybody on the department, has a serious implication for all of the cases they worked, has serious implications for the victims of crimes, has very serious implications for witnesses and for the suspects of various crimes.
I know you don't have your glasses on. Mary's comment here.
Kind of makes you wonder. Sproles' whole campaign was about how he made sure his deputies made more money. So, yeah. Yeah. How many cases will have to be thrown out or retried because of their testimony? Yeah, this is a serious issue. When you have police officers who, once they have an issue with trust, and if you catch an officer doctoring their reports, making up their reports, falsifying reports, at that point it's very scary what all that it could affect. So this is a very fluid situation. It is still ongoing. We are, from what I hear, we're about a week or 2 weeks into this. The guys have been on leave for about a week, and this has been known about for a little bit before that. So everything is going along the way that it should be. I will tell you, I don't see anything in here that I don't see anything in here that makes me believe that these guys are getting special treatment currently. And I think that this is a big enough situation that the shit's going to hit the fan and they're going to have to deal with it. I just don't think that it's going to smooth over. I don't think this can. I don't think with the allegations of false documentation and the fact that they weren't making up people, they actually used real people. That's crazy to me. So we'll have to see. I'm going to reach out to the young lady that said that she was involved with this. I'm going to see if she'll be willing to come on and talk, or at least we could get a statement. And I will let you know. I'll let you know what I hear with this, and we'll go from there. People don't get caught the first time they break the law. These guys got caught because they've broken the law rules for so long they've gotten away with it. There he goes. Got them caught. Yes. I knew I heard his name. Can they just stand in front of the church congregation and apologize? I heard that work sometimes. Put them on the Brady list. Listen, I think putting them on the Brady list only matters if they're going to continue being cops. I don't think they're going to continue being cops. I fully believe they're going to lose their jobs. And I don't think that it's going to be something we're going to have to worry about. My question is, what the hell else is going on in Newcastle, in Henry County? You know, it feels like we're just always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I tell you, it's going to feel that way until 2 or 3 years into Jim's term as sheriff. I just feel like Jim has an totally uphill battle on his hands. And, you know, Sproles still has June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Sproles still has 7 months to totally do far more whacked out, crazy shit. And I don't know. I think that's it. They won't lose their jobs. This is exactly. Yeah, no, they'll lose their jobs for this. This is too big of an issue, and it will listen. This will hit the news. It should be soon. I'm going to send this in to my contacts in various Indianapolis news organizations so they will get a head start on this. Nobody thought that anyone would find this out. Nobody thought that this was going to come out today. The fact that I was able to push this forward is just a testament to how great of a source network that we have created, how great that network is. So I am very fortunate. And I'm very thankful for all of the people that contact us and give me information. Stumblefoot, I know everything, though. Has anyone told my brother about this yet? I don't know. You might want to pass that along. I'll send him this link, and I can let him be made aware. This is definitely a serious situation. And I think that all of these players involved in what's been going on need to be made aware of this. So I will continue following it, and I will bring you guys information. If you want to follow along, the very best way to follow along with updates relating to this case is, first and foremost, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And for those people that might not know, it does not cost you anything. You can subscribe simply by clicking the subscribe button on YouTube. It does not cost you a thing. We do not charge you to do anything. And that's that situation. Subscribe to YouTube. Follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Kristopher H. Bilbrey and the Political Spotlight page. I would consider doing both. I can no longer accept friend requests on Facebook, except if someone drops me, or if I happen to ever drop somebody, I then just accept the next person. However, you can follow me, and you can see everything there. So follow me there. Also follow me on Twitter if that's something that you do. We will put this information out, and we will continue talking about it. If there's information that comes forward that I'm going to release on an episode, we will always post that information on Facebook ahead of the show so you guys can see this. So I just got pulled over sitting in my room watching you, Bilbrey. That's hilarious. I will put this out there and say, if anybody watching has any information about this, you are free to communicate me, and you are able to get this information to me. So get information to me. But if anyone has information, contact me. You can hit me up on Facebook. You can email me. You can call me. Do all of that stuff. We should. Let me see here real quick. No, I thought that was something else. Never mind. I was just double checking. Yes. Well, Alva, I don't. I have looked through it, but I haven't had a chance to really do anything with it. So I will look through it when I'm doing the wrap up stuff on the show tonight. So I'll keep you guys. I'll take a look. Alva sent it to me, and I know that Kate sent me some stuff about that today. So that is that. Is tomorrow the JD thing, Kate? That you sent? Let me look. I'll tell you what, while I'm looking really quickly, we are going to take a quick break. You guys stay right there, and we will be right back. Man, it's like we didn't even go anywhere. See how that was? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just double checking here really quickly. I want to make sure. No, it's Thursday, May 21st. Okay. So I'm going to have to go to that. I think I'm going to go
tomorrow.
To that. Okay, it is tomorrow. Damn it. So I think I probably will go to that. Okay. Yeah, I will I will go to that and see. It's about an hour away. That's not too bad. Leave that in the overlays, and I will we'll use that for tomorrow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us tonight. And we will go from there. I'll keep you posted, and we'll see what happens. Tune in tomorrow. I'll have to keep you guys posted because I'm going to go to this JD event tomorrow, and the event starts at 6:30. It takes about an hour and 20 minutes to get home from that. So if it goes until 7:30, if it goes for an hour, then that would be putting me real close. So I'll keep you guys posted, let you know what's going on. But I want to go to this because I want to know what the hell he's doing with this. And so, all right. We'll see what goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a wonderful rest of your evening. It is in Frankfort at the Frankfort Community Public Library. So in Frankfort, Indiana. I don't know why he's doing it. I know why he's doing it, but he's an absolute idiot. Okay, you guys take care. God bless. Have a good night. We will see you tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Goodbye.